Hey guys, Scott, they want to do another press thing.
Just a few other.
Always, what do you want to do? They want to do another gap.
A few other topics that we didn't ask because
we have to stay on schedule. So that's why we have these things. You can ask those questions. Why don't you follow with Bob? We'll take care of you as much as we can. Okay? Thanks.
I think it's going to get them. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to answer your questions now, but in the future, when we do an open availability, try to ask the questions then, so I don't have to do three.
We didn't want to interrupt the focus of your thing.
All right. Thank you.
A few weeks ago, you said of special interests, they think they're going to keep their snouts in the trough. I'm not going to stand for it. Will you tell us today who the special interests are you're referring to?
Let me talk about this. I spoke to the NFIB yesterday, and there was one reporter in there. I am not at. Let me describe it this way. If I get this said right. I told NFIB, you are one of the most important organizations early on to support me. I appreciate it very much. But I hope that you supported me and believe that you supported me because of what I represented, which is, free markets, reform, change, and job growth. If you supported me for something that you thought you were going to get, you're going to be sorely disappointed. So number one is we have to look at everything honestly. And if we do it honestly, and that doesn't mean we're always going to agree with special interest groups, then I think we're going to be okay. It's when you wink and nod at somebody and give somebody something special that you lose the moral high ground. I don't want to lose the moral high ground. I've been through this before on writing the budget. Secondly, I am not at war with special interest groups as long as they're not just trying to get the last gasp of air in the coal mine. We have big problems in this state. We have to balance this budget, and I want to do it in a way that it's going to be the most accommodating and the most helpful for the people of the state. If special interest groups somehow want to get out and block workers' comp reform or the budget process because they're protecting their own deal, then that's a problem for me. But if they want to work constructively with us to help us solve these problems, I'm all for it. And we have a big job to do, and we got a lot of problems, and maybe that's a little bit different for people. But, that's kind of the way I operate, and I'm going to continue to operate that way.
Various groups are coming to the State House now, just beginning to come, representing schools and mentally disabled and seniors and abused children and on, and they're saying don't cut us in the upcoming budget. Does that mean that since they're saying don't cut us, you're basically saying they are the snouts?
I would say, Bill, that I've just asked all Ohioans to try to think about being constructive. And I don't want to get into naming names because then that starts, I name their name, you go then talk to them, and I don't need that. I'm just asking Ohioans to think beyond their own client base. If you talk about, for example, the developmentally disabled, I think we've been very sensitive in that area. That's an area where we've been very concerned. But changes are coming, and if we don't make the changes, I have to tell you, groups asking for more tax increases, I'll tell you all that does, puts us in a deeper hole. I cannot compete with a high tax environment in this state. I can't compete. And we're having trouble now competing. We're losing businesses. We've got to become more competitive if we're going to help the people get work. So that's what we're faced with, and I'm not going to back down. And the reason why I can't is because I then put us deeper in a hole and I can't do it. Thank you all very much.
There you go. There's